Alright guys, now camera install. I don't know if this is going to be part of the other video or not. Probably not, I don't know. But, if it's not, I'm going to say it now. I have a promotional code, basically a sponsorship code from Sonic Electronics, and I got all this from Sonic Electronics. And under federal law, I have to say that this is basically sponsored content. I got 5% off of this whole thing, of this whole system. And you can too, using the same code, because it is a sponsorship code. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, and it'll also be in the description. It's Daniel P with a capital D and a capital P, no spaces. Now that I got that out of the way, I've already installed the radio, so I'm not going to go over that. If you want to see the hookups or what I did behind the radio, you can go back to my other video. But basically, I connected the coax to the brown coax, or to the brown input on the back of the radio, which is the camera input. The positive, I attached it to the ignition positive in the radio harness, so the camera always gets power when the radio's on. That way I can turn the camera on without it having to be in reverse. The reverse signal wire on these trucks, if you have an auto dimming mirror, this is for the 95 to 99 Classic, 2000 Tahoes, Classics, and even up to some 01, 02 commercial vehicles, commercial trucks. It's the OBS. No, I don't like OBS. The GMT400 body style. If your truck looks like this on the front. If you have the auto dimming mirror, you can come down here to the convenience center. And right there, on the second row, middle plug, there's that green wire. That is the reverse input for the auto dimming rearview mirror, so the auto dimming will turn off in reverse. If you don't have an auto dimming rearview mirror, check that spot and see if there's a pin in it. If there's a pin in it, then probe it and see if it's got power when you're in reverse. I know I've told some people this when I wired up my tow mirrors. They either didn't have pins in that spot, or they had pins, but actually I think every single one of them that I've heard that had pins had power in reverse. So if you have pins, you can just tap off there. Just use a regular spade connector and jam it in there. Not jam it in there, but you know, if you use a regular spade connector and plug it in. If you don't have that, the auto dimming mirror, and you don't have the pins, then you're going to have to go, because as far as I know, the reverse signal does not come back into the truck on these models. But you are going to have to come down here to your neutral safety switch on the top plug, that light green wire right there. That's what you tap into to get your reverse signal input. And like I said, I already had my mirrors. I already had my mirrors tapped into it, which is what that yellow wire is, and then I just tapped it again, and I'm going to fix and tape that up, and that goes to my reverse wire that goes to the back of the radio. That's the radio side, and then you bring all your wiring. You'll have the RCA, the power, and then a ground, but the ground isn't behind the radio. If it was, I would have tapped it in behind the radio too. The ground, I have it routed down the dash, down under here, down through here, down here, and it's this right here. I went ahead and taped it all up so it wasn't all over the place. This is the ground wire for the camera. I'm going to tap that in right here, get another ring terminal and tap it in right here where I have, I believe those are my, I believe that's my tow mirror ground. Or no, yes, ground for something. I think it's ground for my tow mirrors. Actually, it is a ground for my tow mirrors because I didn't used to have the new body style tow mirrors. I had the old tow mirrors that didn't have any turn signals, so I had to put a ground on it. But anyway, I routed it all down through here, behind here, and I am on my way to putting it in the back. I got it routed through here. Follow this harness right here to here. That's as far as I've gotten right now. But so far, that's an overview of what I've done right now as far as the reverse camera install with the Pioneer AVH 4200 series radio. This is the camera, and I don't exactly know where I'm going to put it right now, but I got two places I'm going to try to put it. I'm thinking about putting it right here, but if I can't, which I'm probably not, because I think my swing is going to be partly in the way, so I'm probably going to mount it right here and line it up with my hitch. So that should give me a good view of pretty much everything I need. Yeah, I've already installed the radio. I already have a video on that. This is just the camera. Like I said, this is probably going to be a separate video because I don't want two big different videos. But like I said, it comes in two harnesses. You know, this part of the harness and then this part of the harness. This part of the harness that has this end on it, which mates with the other end. Right here. But yeah, like I said, pretty simple. The positive you can connect that positive either to your reverse if you want it to, if you only want it to have power in reverse, or connect it to an ignition positive, which the back of the radio has an ignition positive, which is what I connected it to. I spliced it into the ignition positive. The RCA plugs into your reverse camera input, which is the brown on the Pioneer radio, and I just routed it down the dash, and then the reverse side of the radio, I tapped it into my reverse signal input. And let me keep on going. Alrighty. See, it's gotten dark now. See if I can get back on the ground. There's my mount. And I am nowhere near happy with the welds. I mean, these are my good weld. I mean, there's my good welds. I mean, all the way there. On that side. I mean, on that thing. Those are all my good welds. Same thing with, you know, back here. Anyway, right there. Of course, those aren't on there. Those. I can make some nice, pretty welds. But I'm not good on thin stuff. Especially paper thin stuff. And this is a whole lot smaller than paper thin. Those welds look like dog crap. But I was literally burning through when I was welding it on there, so I was literally having to basically tack this thing on. There's some decent welds in there. Nah, who am I kidding? It all looks like crap. But while it does look like crap, this thing ain't going nowhere at all. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. So the welds look like crap. I didn't have any self-tapping screws small enough, and I wouldn't even trust the self-tapping screws to go into this quarter inch. This is quarter inch 2x2 square tube. Yeah, a self-tapper screw going all the way in there is not going to hold either. I'd rather have welds that look like teetotal crap, something that you're probably not going to see too often. I hate the welds. But I was literally burning away the steel as I was welding it. Like I said, I had to tack it on there bit by bit. But still, the end result, it is not going anywhere. No matter what you do, it's not going anywhere. Welds look like crap, but they're holding. I'll eventually cut that off and make a different bracket. I have to get longer mounting hardware though. The mounting hardware they gave you is like that short. I mean, it's the mounting stuff they gave you is literally just enough to go in here and just enough to go into the camera, like maybe 1/8 of an inch, if even that. So I'll eventually cut that off, grind that down, and get some 3/16 or something. Well, 3/16, more than 3/16. I'll probably get some 1/8 inch and make 2 uprights. And then just get some longer Allen heads. If I can even find Allen heads that small. They're tiny. But anyway, there's the camera mount. I've lined it up where it's pretty much directly even with my hitch, so when it comes on through the radio, when it's coming on through the radio, it's directly in line with the home button. So let me go ahead and get this routed somewhat. Actually routed somewhat. Pretty much I can get it inside. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be back and show the end result. I'll slap some paint on this bed liner, and I'll be back. Man, I hate those welds. About the only way you're going to be able to weld this and make it look good is a TIG welder, which I don't have a TIG welder. I was using this pretty much on its lowest setting. If I put it on its lowest setting, it probably wouldn't even stuck to this. So I put it on, I think I have it on 2. So I put it on 2 and was literally just tacking away as it went. So, well, looks like crap, but hey, it's holding. So, yeah. I'll be back. Oh, that was an adventure. I tried to, I don't know how I'm going to like that. Still not 100% done. I got to cut all these zip ties, tape the connection in the front where I tapped in the reverse light, and take that and bind it up. But, I tried to get it to go through these square tubes. Yeah, with the line I already got in there, if I would have ran it all at the same time, it'd be fine. I could run it and it'd be fine. I can't even. I took the connector off. I unpinned the connector and tried to slide it through where it goes from the thin wire to the thick sheathing right here. It's got like a grommet of some sort, stress reliever. Built onto it, and it won't go through those lines. So I just have it zip tied, sitting on top. A couple more zip ties sitting on top. A couple more zip ties. I'm going to eventually take that and put another zip tie on there, or tape it up. Got it running through the hole in the bumper. Coming out. Oops. Coming out of the hole. Going along there. Going up. I was going to run it through the grommet. There's a grommet up there that I got my CB antenna going through. But instead, I ran it up right there where I have a hole drilled in a grommet that I have for the lights on my fender flares. Run it up through there. Up through there, and it comes out right in there somewhere, right there, comes in through there, and then it meets the line coming up from up front, and there's the lines, and there is the connector, right there. I had to take the connector apart, ran it through all that, then put the connector back on. Now I'm just got to bind all that up and zip tie it and set it in the pocket. And there's the camera just on camera mode. This is swinging out to the side. But let me go ahead and get this all together, and after I tidy everything up, I'll come back and do one final video of it. So I'll be back. It's 9 o'clock, so I need to hurry up and get this done. I'll be back. Alrighty, and this is just the camera view. You can go to just camera. This is why I didn't connect the power to the reverse, because I can turn on my camera when it's not in reverse. But I also have lights back there on the switch. So there that is. See how I got my hitch pretty much dead center. I mean, I am what? That's how far off I am. Which, to be honest, you can't necessarily tell that it's off, but it's off just a tiny bit. But I don't have my parking lines adjusted. I have to do that later. But and you can tell how much brighter my reverse lights are. It has these lights on it too. These lights that I have on a switch right here. It has these lights on it too. The lights that I had turned on when I wasn't in reverse. But you can tell how much brighter my reverse lights are, my 80-watt reverse lights. But there it is. Like I said, I don't have my parking lines adjusted. I'll have to do that tomorrow. Find an open parking lot and adjust it. But and these are this light bar right here and this light bar right there and there are what's activated with that switch on the dash. Now this is an ID bar. It's got a red light here, here, and here. Same with the one behind it. But there it is, right there. And there's my hitch. Right there. I think I did a pretty dadgum good job. Like I said, I hate where the welds are, but I got my hitch in it, and I got a pretty dadgum good distance behind me. There's that ID bar right there, and right there. The picture does kind of curve in. Even at night, this picture is pretty damn good. Can't complain too much. To adjust the parking lines, camera settings. I'm gonna make sure camera view. You can do that with the timer. Also, when you're adjusting camera, you turn it on. You can have the radio on, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I'll show it to you in a second. Backup input on. Second camera input off because I don't have a second camera yet. Battery. Park assist lines on. Camera reverse. You don't need it because it's an actual use for a backup camera. If you used a backup camera and put it in the front for camera 2, you would have to turn reverse on. Parking assist guides. And that's how you adjust it right there. With these 4 things right there, you adjust it. I think you can actually, yeah, you adjust it pretty separately. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get in a parking spot somewhere, pull my tire up almost all the way to the back parking line, and then use this red guide and put it on the dotted line at the bottom, and gotta change it back to default. But yeah, I'll show you what I was talking about. Let me go ahead and turn the light on. I moved the camera to my quick select. Yeah, there's that ID bar. Yeah, you press this timer button, go back, play music. listening to music, blah blah blah, going down the road. Maybe I'm pulling the trailer, who knows. Should time out here in a second. And there it goes. It goes back to the rear camera. You want to mess with something else? Turn the volume up, change it again. As long as you're pressing buttons, stay there, let it sit there. Stop pressing buttons, bam, back in camera. And you press X and it stops. So, yeah. There you go. That is a Pioneer something 8. I'll put a caption on it. NC8, DP NC8 maybe. But that's the camera install. And yeah. I'll do another video both on the radio and on the backup camera in a couple of weeks or a month or so after I get, you know, used to everything and something. And I'll do like a full roundabout review on the kit, the dash kit, the radio, and the camera, since the radio and the camera did come together. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. X band, K band, KA band. Alright guys, just thought I'd do this little thing at the end. Oh, I gotta turn my key back on. I went and set the parking lines today after work. Ooh, I like that song. But it's my parking lines. See, right in the center where my hitch is, I got it lined up right pretty much with the bottom of the tailgate. This is all lined up with a parking space. That's the first line. Those are the lines down the center. And then that's the very end of it, from at least from what I can see. And you see where that is? You can actually see my tire up there. But come around here, and that's the tire. About a good forearm or so. I say that's a foot, a little over a foot. I want to have that leeway. I could get it closer. I could make it closer, but I don't want to, you know, I want to have this leeway. I don't want to get back up like that and have it just slightly different and end up hitting something. So I have a good foot of leeway with a parking in a parking spot. If you go to the parking spot, the front of my bumper is basically at the front of the parking spot. So yeah, that's just a little tidbit on the end. And since it's daylight, I can show you my camera again. If it'll focus. There it is, right there. Again, like I said, the welds are not the prettiest at all, but it's holding. Preferably, TIG welding would have been preferred, but I don't have a TIG welder. TIG welder would have welded that perfect. But like I said, I'm probably going to make another bracket eventually and get longer bolts. So yeah, that's it for this video, for real this time. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.